Okay, so I'm just doing a quick, somewhat quick review of how Canvas works. So, for this purpose, I am showing you the web browser viewpoint of Canvas. There is an app that you can use, and I use that frequently. I don't have very many problems with the app. However, there are some assignments, like video assignments, that you would be submitting that you would want to use a web browser for, because it doesn't work to use the app to upload those videos. So that's just one preface that I will make. Okay, so here we are on our normal SharkLink portal. So when you log in, this is what it'll pop up. And they did just do a new design on this, so I'm personally getting used to the new design, but it looks a lot more user-friendly, and I'm loving it so far. So quickly, I'm going to just go ahead and scroll down. So this is going to have your information, so like self-service banner, your email, Canvas, Navigate, like there's just a lot of things that you can access through there, and there's more applications that you can access by clicking the view all applications. So I'll go ahead and show that. Okay, so they offer a multitude of different apps for you to use, like Zoom and stuff like that, and once you get into the program, you will have access to Zoom. And if you have any difficulties with any of these things, you can contact IT and they will help you through it pretty quickly. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Canvas, because that's the important part that we'll discuss. So when you first open up Canvas on the web browser, it does bring up your dashboard. So this is an area that you can search through to look for your courses. Now, they do currently have our previous semester courses on here, and this is really to just help year fours in order to review over material, or if you personally want to review over material. Now they're making it to where we can go back and review material from our past courses, which is really beneficial when we're studying for courses that involve other work from other courses, but also for at the end, when you're studying for your boards. It's very useful to study for your boards that way. So this is just a little viewpoint of that. You can change the colors of your classes if you're like me and you want to do different colors and everything. That's a fun little part that I like. And yeah, so that's just an overview of the dashboard, and it gives you a little to-do list on the side if you need it. And then you can also click over here on courses. And that's typically how I find my course that I want to go to. And for the purposes of this class, or this presentation, I am going to go ahead and do Clinical Skills 2. So when you click on your class, as you can see here on the web browser, it presents the recent announcements. So this is typically done weekly by your instructor of the class. Your professor will do a Monday morning memo, so that's why it says MMM. So that is them just presenting the week's information to you on a broad basis, and allowing you to gain kind of a concept of what you're going to be learning that week, and what's expected of you, and also just any additional comments that they want to make that need to be said about that week's information or a prior week's information. So that is super beneficial when you need more information about that course. So anyways, after you're on the home page of that course, you can scroll down and you can find a lot of other things this way. So one of them is like a start here, which is what I would recommend in any first week in any course that you're taking, is start there, review over the syllabus, and any other things that you want to review. So we'll go ahead and start there. And so when you've clicked on this portion, the teacher will typically have a video explaining what that course is and what you are to expect of that course, as well as going over the syllabus and any assignments and stuff like that are going to be popping up for you in a broad spectrum kind of way. So that's just, it's not loading right now, but that is the video. That black screen right there is the video that my instructor had uploaded for our knowledge. Okay, so I'm going to go back to, home. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, so you can also access your instructor contact information, the syllabus from here, and then also what I just clicked on previous to this was the modules. So your course modules are also listed right under here in this chart down here. So where it says Unit 1, Week 1, and it's highlighted, you could click on that to access your modules that way, or you can go over to the left-hand side where it says under Announcements, Modules. Then that's another way you can also access your NSU official syllabus, not just the course syllabus, but the NSU one, but also the announcements, discussion boards, assignments, quizzes, grades, and many more things. It also gives you access on this screen for technical help and student resources if you need it. So I'm going to go over here on the left-hand side, and I'm going to click on modules. So this section is just showing you, again, this is like where you would start here, meet your instructor, gives you information about policies, and I'll just zoom in here so that you know exactly where I'm at. But yes, and then it gives you other information like course technology support and accessibility information if you need it. Okay. And then course resources, like what textbooks you are to have or have access to, which a lot of them are accessible on our online website, the library website. But sometimes you will have to purchase books because it's more beneficial for you to have those books, or because there's limited access to some of these books on the library. You'll learn more about that as you go through your courses and stuff, and when you do orientation, they typically talk you through that stuff. Okay. And then it gives you an assignment overview that's really beneficial if you liked to have an idea of what's going to be expected of you throughout that course. Okay, so then each week is set up similar to a Monday morning memo. We have the welcome to week 1. So it doesn't have the video in this portion, but it gives you an overview of what is covered in the week first. So as you can see here, we have we have 3 topics that are essentially covered in this week. And then the next thing is, it's typically set up the same way for each class. You're going to have a reading section, what materials they would expect you to read and review over, and then also a section for watching. These are usually your lectures or any additional videos that help to encompass learning for, or help aid you in learning for that week's materials. The teacher will just put them into that section. And then also the last part is what's expected of you to be completed by the end of that week. And typically all assignments are due by Sunday at midnight, but you will want to make sure that that's the case for each of your courses. And then there's typically always what we call muddy points discussion, and I'm going to go ahead and click on that. This is super beneficial because sometimes there's a topic that you're not really aware of, and you're kind of questioning it, but also other students might be questioning the same thing. So this is a really helpful section. You can press reply, you can type out your question here, and then your teacher can respond to it so that everybody else gets the response as well. So yes, that's very beneficial. As you can see here, a few people have already done that, and it just is, it helps not only you, but other classmates, because your question might be a question that other people have and might be too afraid to ask. So feel free to always do that, because teachers are very helpful and they want you to ask these questions. So don't be afraid to do that. Okay, moving on. You can also go into the assignment section, and it'll give you an overview of your assignments, and you can click on them that way. I typically just go straight into the modules and find my assignments there, but sometimes it is easier to go into the assignments portal. And then you can access your quizzes as well, and your grades. I'm not going to show you that because that's personal information. And then you have your media gallery. I typically don't use our Shark Media. I typically use YouTube and embed my videos that way. That's a lot of information to give you right now. You will learn how to do that, and they will walk you through how to use Shark Media. I personally prefer YouTube and just embedding, and again, that might not make sense to you yet, but you will learn it. There's also a section over here in the groups. This tells you what groups you're a part of. So sometimes we have assignments in which we have to work with other people in our class, and it's very helpful to have your group already set to the side for you, and that's how they do it here. And then you can also do an overview of your calendar, and it gives you when things are due, essentially, some assignments and stuff. As you can see, a lot of them are already crossed off, and yeah, I typically will write out my own stuff on my own paper, and so that I can check it off, because sometimes you want to just double check that everything is correct, because sometimes things don't always translate over to the calendar from your to-do list on Canvas. I personally have not seen all my assignments pop up, so it's important to just double check those things. I will say that. And then there's also an inbox option here. I typically just use normal email, but there are email options there for you if you need it. But yeah, so that is a pretty generalized overview of Canvas. But yes, if you have any questions, feel free to ask.